Hello everyone, I'm Ahjay and I'm going to be bringing you along with me as I try some horses to lease. I've been riding for about 6 years now, but I've only ever taken lessons. However, I've decided I want to ride and compete more often, and leasing a horse or pony would allow me to do that. I'm looking for an all-rounder horse or pony so I can compete in some jumping, dressage and cross-country. So let's head to the first location, Stables. Here I tried a Yorvik warmblood called Stargazer. He was a perfect boy, was lovely as I tacked him up, and he didn't even need a halter. I rode out to the arena and Stargazer was attentive and listening to my aids. Although there were a lot of other people and horses around, I think there was some kind of riding camp going on. Stargazer wasn't fussed. I began to warm Stargazer up and he was quiet and listened to everything I told him to do. He even walked past these scary flower pots with no fuzz, not a single spook. His owner said I was allowed to pop him over a few jumps. They said he could jump about 1.10 m, so I put him over a few jumps and he was amazing. Even when I messed up the striding, he was very forgiving and fixed it up. The next day, I tried a cute Yorvik pony called Cherry Blossom at the Silverglade Equestrian Centre, or the SEC, which is where I currently ride. Cherry Blossom was feeling a little bit perky, a little bit spicy, so I decided to lead her down to the arena instead of riding her. I warmed her up on the flat just like I did with Stargazer, and Cherry Blossom was a little resistant to turning and her lead change was a bit sticky. You can see the turning issue in the clip right here. I made sure to do lots of circles and that seemed to help a little bit with the turning thing, and of course this is something we could work on, but I just felt like I didn't quite have the time to dedicate to it. We then moved into some jumping, just some small jumps as she was a smaller pony and didn't have quite the scope Stargazer had. Once we were jumping though, she was perfect, springing over everything and turning at my lightest touch. Although she did jiggle a few poles, this was my fault. However, the resistance of dressage was not ideal for me as I was hoping to show whichever horse I got in the 3 main disciplines. I decided not to try Cherry Blossom over any cross-country jumps, as I had already decided that I would not be leasing her because of her limited scope and her dislike of dressage. I also tried another horse at the SEC, but a day later. She was called Butterfly and she was an Akaltiki. She was absolutely stunning and her temperament matched that. She was sweet, gentle and loving. There were no problems at all tacking up and I decided to walk to the arena on her. Something else her owner told me was that she was prone to sweat sores on hot days, so on those days her mane would have to be plastered up. But I decided to not let that stop me, especially as I'm sure we would be able to find some medication or something else to treat that. Butterfly was amazing on the flat, bending off my leg and keeping straight on the centre and quarter lines. She was quiet and held her head on the bit. All her gaits were so smooth and flowy and I felt like I was on a rocking horse. She even did lead changes perfectly. Then we did some jumping as well, and Butterfly had a great scope. Although Aquatikis are mainly used for showing, she was a fantastic jumper and I felt Butterfly had great promise. There was one time when I set her up for the jump rung and she refused, but that was all my fault, so I just tried again and she was fine. Her owner said I was allowed to take her over a few cross-country jumps after I finished with the show jumping, and she was just as good over them. Overall, I think Butterfly would be a great choice of horse for me to lease. Her owner had also made the offer of a longer-term lease, not just for the duration of the showing season. The last horse I tried a few days later was over at Golden Leaf Stables, a really lovely facility. I was trying another Jorvik pony, but I was unable to tack him up, which I was a little disappointed about because how a horse behaves on the ground says a lot about them, but I got over that and began the ride. As I got on Popcorn, he trotted off, so I had to bring him back to a walk, which took a while. We just did some flat work, but when he started to buck, then bolt across the arena, I decided to hop off. I could have trained him, but again, like Cherry Blossom, I didn't think I had the time to invest into that. So after some consideration, I was stuck between two horses, Stargazer and Butterfly. Stargazer would gain success in every competition he entered and would win me lots of ribbons. Butterfly would teach me more, and to me that is a success. So I decided to bring home Butterfly. We got the vet out and everything was great, so I have now officially started my lease on Butterfly. We're going to our first show soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!